Donc, aujourd'hui...
You know, Joe Rogan, now I understand he has 200 million listeners.
Yeah.
And there are people who want to go after him for it, and Howard Stern is one of them. And Howard Stern probably has a similar audience to Joe Rogan, maybe. And I just want to read you what Howard Stern said to him. Quote, "We have no time for idiots in this country anymore. We don't want you. We want you to all either go to the hospital and stay home, die there with your COVID. Don't take the cure, but don't clog up our hospitals with your COVID when you finally get it."
You remember when Howard Stern said that podcasts were never going to take off?
Because he was the first and everything?
No, he's doing radio. And so he's like, podcasts are stupid. Who's ever going to watch that?
He's doing satellite radio.
Yeah, but I'm saying, like, he never liked podcasting or podcasters. He thought it was a stupid industry.
But he was pretty much
and now it's way bigger than his.
But he was pretty much the first podcast. You shitting on podcasts is basically shitting on your kids.
That is a very, very harsh statement from Howard Stern, directed at Joe Rogan.
But then I don't think by saying you're an idiot is going to change a person's mind. That's why I love
Sanjay didn't even change his mind.
But you're not going to change your mind. You're not trying to change Joe's mind, but out of 200 million people that are listening, there might be a mind change. And Sanjay respected...
What should she have said?
He respected Joe enough to actually go on there.
No, I'm going to jump in here. I think we need to have more conversations, not less. We right now run to our own echo chambers, and we would rather have applause from preaching to our own choirs than actually moving the needle at all. I think this was so important to go on there, not to convince Joe Rogan, and not to have the intention of convincing anyone else. Provide the facts, answer with science, let people make up their own minds. That's the problem in this day and age. We're telling people how to feel. They will feel what they want. Give them enough information that they make that decision and win on merit. Dr. Gupta did something very interesting. When he got there, he pointed out that Rogan sells masks on his site, even though he wasn't a big mask. And he gave it to him as a gift during the interview. And then he also brought up to him during the interview, when I got here, there was a rapid test done to me. And then they also pricked my finger for the presence of antibodies.
So he's a hypocrite on top of it.
How is he a hypocrite? He said it's fine to use tests. He actually has been very transparent about the fact that he gets tests every time he brings in a guest. So this idea that he's a hypocrite is like, listen, it's not because people are anti-vaccine that they're anti-all measures. It's not because people are anti-mandate that they're not for the vaccine. Me, for example, I'm pro-vaccine, anti-mandates. That's me personally. People can be nuanced. So you seeing a hypocrite in this is very funny to me because it's clear that you must live in some kind of binary where you can't imagine that Joe was like, I don't want the vaccine, but I still get tested.
It's not because you don't get the vaccine that you don't believe in something that's real. You can believe in the illness. That's the thing. That's the thing. We're so polarized. We're so black and white, blue and red. That's not what it is. That's not reality. That's not anything functions.
Shout out to the two ladies before them because they were making a lot of sense. You don't have to convince somebody. Come, bring your set of facts and your ideas, have the debate back and forth, and let the people decide for themselves. That's it. She was preaching.
Showed up and said, by the way, to all you listeners, I just am providing facts. He didn't bring emotion.
Sanjay is a very, I think Sanjay is a very effective spokesperson because he's not as politicized and demonized as some of the CDC, NIH doctors have been.
Was, until he went on Don Lemon and got his back broken. He did. He bent over and he took it.
Right? So I think listen, Sanjay Gupta is not just a TV doctor. Sanjay Gupta is a real doctor at Emory University doing neurosurgery.
But the other thing about Joe Rogan, if you look at his, yes, he has all of these listeners. That's so wonderful. But some of the stuff that he has said, he's transphobic. He's Islamophobic. He has said racist things. I mean, another one with the trifecta of bigotry. And these people continue to listen to him.
Don't bring past shit to this. Even whatever the hell you said was kind of erroneous, but it's okay. Someone that says something unbelievably wrong doesn't mean that they say everything. Again, with the fucking left and right and black and blue and red and blue and black. It's not because you said something that you don't agree with that everything you say is going to be something that is horrendously wrong.
You just dropped it, though. She just dropped it. He's transphobic, homophobic. He's a terrible person.
What? Why? How?
Where's the proof?
How?
You know why they call Joe transphobe?
Go ahead.
Because he said it wasn't right for females to be facing males in MMA fights. That in athletics, there's a clear advantage. Is transphobe. Really? You're going to say that? Do you know that vast majority of people think that that's not right for males and females to be competing in the same sport?
We already covered
that
that.
makes everybody a transphobe? They refer to Joe Rogan's audience of so many millions of people as all idiots. And then afterwards, they wonder why people are not following their rules. You alienate people. You call them dumbasses, stupid, not recognizing there's a variety of people who watch Joe Rogan for different reasons. I personally like watching it for some of the guests. Sometimes he has a guest that really interests me, who brings in really interesting information on sleep studies, on the history of the world. There's interesting shit sometimes.
And also, you have time to develop.
And he's knowledgeable about MMA.
On a podcast like Joe Rogan, these people have time to develop. Whenever you go on these shows like The View, the segment that we're watching right now, you watch whenever they invite someone to talk about these things. Like they're gonna invite a neurosurgeon. That neurosurgeon is only gonna have like about 7 minutes to expose all of that. Yeah. I'm not gonna get all the information I want, but if I watch Joe Rogan, it's gonna be 2 hours or 2 hours and a half of back and forth about that subject.
He has advised young people, if you're young and you're healthy, don't take the vaccine. I think if you are still listening to him, knowing his history, I'm not interested in reaching out to you.
I would like to ask something.
They might be crazy, and they might be, you might want to call them crazy, you might want to call them stupid, you might want to call them idiots. Here's the problem. That idiot might be your shoe salesman. That idiot might be your cashier at the Publix.
And what about it?
You're getting exposed to that. You're getting exposed to that person who you think is
So if
idiotic.
Sherry says you don't call, what would you like him to say in 5 seconds?
What would I like Sanjay to say?
What would you like him to say? You say, don't call people idiots.
Because I don't want anybody calling me an idiot for what I believe in.
Yeah.
You were going to change my mind when you have a respectful discourse, because I want to make my own decisions. There are people that still listen to Joe that still they're wavering.
Yeah, there was an interesting point during the pandemic, I think, like this past summer that just passed, and most people had already been vaccinated, and I'd gotten vaccinated at that point. People were like, why would you wait so long? I was like, bruh, maybe I was unsure. It's none of your business. But not everyone's certain. Not everyone's for or against it. People are still getting vaccinated. So just stop pigeonholing everyone. All these people who get up on these platforms, you're a fucking idiot that's killing your neighbors. Okay, cool. At the beginning of the pandemic, at the onset of it, a lot of you dumbasses got mad at folks for banning travel from China. A lot of you folks got mad at other people for saying that this may have came from a lab. And come to find out later on, you were the idiots because you were ill-informed. Information's constantly evolving. Stop looking at the other side of the aisle with this righteous indignation like you're inherently right. You don't know. You don't know. You don't know. And a lot of other people don't know. And they're taking their time to make their decisions. Just stop. This is a whole conversation, man. Shout out to her because she was very civil with it, and she, I think, made a good point. Where it's like,
both of them.
I know people who are hyper religious. I'm not. It's never going to be for me. I don't go out there and be like, you fucking idiot for believing in Sky Daddy or whatever it is. It's like, man, no, it's stupid, right? What? You're gonna start problems.
First, space racism.
Yeah.
Now Sky Daddy.
Whatever.
Bruv.
Whatever.
Sky Daddy.
All this to say.
Dear Sky Daddy.
Just shut up. Huh?
Sky Daddy. Oh, I'm sorry. That's a great name.
All right. So, all this to say.
Sorry.
What?
Sky Daddy is a great name.
Yeah. When you alienate people like this, you don't give them any incentive to want to meet you halfway. You don't want to? That's fine. Afterwards, though, I don't want to hear none of y'all motherfuckers complaining about why people aren't following rules and regulations or why people are not coming to the table to have a conversation. You already called them stupid and retards 100 times. They're not coming to the table. Mm-hmm. All right? You want to look at the polarization and the media landscape, understand the ways in which you contribute by referring to anybody who does this as stupid or anything. It's not good conversation. Anyways, that's it. What do you got? Anything else?
Sky Daddy.